It's that time again. The annual conference of the American Society of Ag Consultants, otherwise known as ASAC, is going to be held in Fort Myers, Florida, this November 4th and 5th. Kurt Covington is one of 9 professionals who will address the conference. The other speakers who will cover a wide range of topics represent Florida Farm Bureau, Florida Citrus Commission, University of Tennessee Institute of Agriculture, National Ag Law Center, Risk Mitigators and Advisors, Tyler Associates, as well as the lead economist for dairy at CoBank, and myself, Chrissy Wozniak from North American Ag. The day and a half of presentations will be followed by ag tours on Tuesday afternoon at Echo Farms, one of my favorite places here in Fort Myers. Attendees will experience farming at its most creative, with unique demonstrations, plants, and techniques being used to help farmers and urban gardeners in developing countries. A second tour at Echo will showcase simple technologies that can improve food, water, and shelter for millions of people. A third tour of a hydroponic grower is also being planned. For more information and to register, visit www.agconsultants.org. That's www.agconsultants.org. See you there. Welcome to North American Ag Spotlight. I'm Chrissy Wozniak. My guest today is the Livestock Manager at the American Royal. And the American Royal has been a Kansas City tradition since 1899 and offers nearly 500,000 youth and adults from around the world the chance to participate in high-quality events and experiences. And that includes nationally competitive livestock shows, the world's largest barbecue competition, which I need to get to someday, regional and national equine shows, youth and professional rodeo, and educational outreach for elementary and secondary students. The 2024 American Royal Livestock Show will take place from October 9th to 27th this year at the American Royal Complex in Kansas City, Missouri. And so today we're going to talk about what's new at the show from Kansas City, Missouri. I'd like to welcome Matt Durian, Livestock Manager at the American Royal. Welcome, Matt, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. That was a great intro. And I couldn't have said it better myself about what the American Royal stands for and our mission, purpose, and vision of championing food and agriculture.
Awesome. That's great. So do you want to start just by sharing a bit about your background and how you became involved with American Royal?
Absolutely. My name is Matt Durian, and I am born and raised actually from the Central Coast of California. Went to a college out there where I got the honor to be a part of a jackpot livestock show called Western Bonanza. When I finished my time in college in 2020, I decided to move out of California. Worked at a county fair up in Iowa for a year until the American Royal had a position open, which is actually when I moved down 2 years ago to Kansas City, Missouri. Have been working here since then. Started out as an event coordinator, working with our pro and youth rodeo, then got promoted to the Livestock Event Manager, where I manage our show that is 17 days long in the month of October, as well as our show that we just added this last year, the American Royal Spring Youth Livestock Show.
Wow. And I can't imagine how much work that is just 4-H. You know, our local 4-H is so much, and that's just, our county. So that's it must be a really big endeavor. So can you tell me more about American Royal, the organization? Maybe dive in a little bit more about the mission as well and how it impacts the wider community.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you were talking about, I am a product of 4-H and FFA and showing at a county fair level. And I think the American Royal, our mission is to champion food and agriculture and really give an opportunity for exhibitors from across the country the ability to show livestock at the highest level. Last year, our show, we had exhibitors from 46 different states and Canada. So being able to reach out and touch exhibitors and give an impact on their life that will last a lifetime, what they can do in this industry and what it offers for them is really what the American Royal is about. There are countless scholarships that our livestock show alone gives out and help fund a higher education for these exhibitors. So there's kids that show from 9 to 21, or even younger than 9 as well, depending on what breed of cattle that they may exhibit. And they will be able to one day help pay for a future education from the American Royal. We really just want to be able to impact the industry's leaders for the next, we've done it for 125 years and we'd like to keep doing it for 125 more.
Yeah, that's what a legacy. It's just amazing. And so as the livestock show continues to grow, what are some of the new changes or improvements that you've added to this year's program?
Yeah, we always want to continue to improve and grow, and we never want to become complacent, right? You would like to always have something that if we want to keep this going for another 125 years, we can't do the same thing that we did in 1899 when we started out as just a Hereford show. So this year, we're really excited to announce that we have actually added a Supreme Bull and a Supreme Open Female Heifer show.
Wow.
And so, we have 17 different breeds of cattle that come here on the junior and on the open side. And the second to last day is the culmination of our junior heifer show, where we actually crown a supreme champion junior heifer. We sat down and we're kind of thinking of different ways to grow and improve. And we decided that why don't we mimic what we do in our junior show on the open side and not only do a supreme champion open female, but let's also add a supreme champion bull as well. I'm going to be able to give out a perpetual trophy that will have the exhibitor's name on there, their location, as well as what the animal is that they're showing. So that'll be really cool and really exciting to start that tradition this year.
Yeah, that's great. And what are you the most excited about for the show?
Yeah, I would say the thing that really kind of we started calling them the goosebump moments today.
Mhm.
It's our Royal Elite Drive, which is, like the Supreme Heifer, it's the culmination of our Junior Market Week, which is on October 19th. That's when we get every division champion from all 4 of the major species. So you have your champion market steer, barrow, lamb, and goat. They all show in the ring at the same time. And, that night, just being able to create a moment that for our exhibitors, I mean, it makes the hair on on your arm stand up and you get chills just thinking about, being able to kind of turn the lights down and the music up and have all 4 of those species showing at the same time is
Wow.
really exciting.
Oh, I love that. I've never seen a show like that with
Yeah,
different
it's
species. That's
great.
amazing.
Yeah, we divide the ring into 4 and you have steers right next to lambs and goats and pigs, and it's really bringing all those shows together that may have been in different barns throughout the week, but it's the best of the best for what we have that year, and it's something impressive.
Wow. Oh, I love that. And so I know you usually have educational elements as well. What's on the schedule for this year?
Yeah, we are going to, it's a tradition that we have 2 big educational components a year that we call our field trips, where we get to take folks from the Kansas City School District. We invite them out and they actually get to come walk through our barns during our fall show. So there will be 2 days during what we call of our week 3 breeding cattle, where we've opened up registration and our local Kansas City schools come out by the busload. They get to tour around some different educational exhibits, meet with some of the breeding cattle exhibitors from that week 3, and just get to learn about food and agriculture, where their beef comes from, and the folks that are out there trying to produce the highest quality animals that they can, whether they're from Texas or Oklahoma or right here in Kansas or Missouri.
Yeah, and especially with, these kids coming in, this could be the only time they get to interact with livestock.
Mm.
That is just a great addition to your community, and uh, that kind of education is just priceless for kids, right? Yeah, given
Yeah,
people are
and
so
from
separated now.
my time in college, we used to quote that, the 2% of the population is directly involved in food and agriculture, and that number's dwindling. So these folks and these kids, they may not have ever seen cattle except when they drive down a highway and they see them in a field, and getting them up close and personal with folks that really care about the industry and care about food and agriculture. It's what we're all about, trying to bridge that gap and make people understand that, this is what we do and this is why we do it. And it's because we care and we love it. There's not people that love these animals more than the ones that are raising them day in and day out. And just trying to bridge that gap and allow these youth from the city see what we're doing on the rural side of things.
Yeah, that's great. Now, a challenge that is faced by a lot of shows across the country is this increasing number of animal activists that own the property. And I know a lot of shows have had to prepare exhibitors for that. Um, have you thought of that? Do you prepare your exhibitors in case that there's something that comes up that, how to react to those potential conflicts?
We do not as of right now. Like I said at the beginning, I was born and raised in California. Um, Growing up, showing at county fair, we had to deal a lot with that.
I bet.
Our 4-H and FFA chapter advisors, leaders, they were always really good. And so our exhibitors, they go through, they work day in and day out with these animals. And so we require all of our junior market exhibitors to participate in a quality assurance program, whether that's, the Youth for the Quality Care of Animals, or Missouri has one that's Show Me Quality Assurance. It just goes into the best practices when it comes to animal welfare and animal care. And so by requiring our exhibitors to go through those programs, they really learn about the best practices that they can be doing, whether it's at home or at the American Royal. But no, there's not anything specific that we've done to prepare them. These kids they're well educated. They understand how to speak and how to present their livestock as well as themselves. And so I've never had a concern with any of our youth exhibitors when it comes to animal welfare groups or animal activists and of
Good.
that nature.
Yeah, that's really good to know. And I also, for youth that can be listening, I like to highlight unique roles in agriculture. And your job is something that a guidance counselor would probably never say, hey, go, go be a
Yeah,
livestock manager. So can you tell me about your role and then what choices you had to make to get there?
for sure. And it does take a special breed of person to want to run livestock shows. There are early mornings and late nights, and um, I would say that everyone loves attending a livestock show. They love being in the barns and showing cattle or sheep and goats. But being on the other side of it and getting to facilitate running an event at this level is so rewarding. Day in and day out, it's just a lot of preparation and logistical work for getting those 17 days in October as perfect and as great as we can make them. Um, I would say the choices that I had to make, I was very fortunate that I didn't graduate high school thinking that this is what I wanted to do for a career, until I ran that jackpot show through my college. There's a lot of, depending on where you go to school, they all try to host something at a certain level. And I'd say just getting involved with shows, whether it's through your college, the American Royal, we offer an internship program, as I'm sure a lot of other shows across the country do. I participated in those growing up. Livestock judging would be the same thing. I had the opportunity to compete in livestock judging in 2017. 5 years later, not only was I competing at the same show in 2017, I got to run it 5 years later.
Wow.
So that was a pretty special night, to looking back through, old social media pictures and seeing a photo of me judging 5 years to the day, and I was on the other side of things, was really, really special. When I was in college and I didn't have any facial hair and I look entirely different and I'm a different person than I was then, was nice to see. And it felt like the culmination of a lot of work and hours put in.
That's really cool. And for those traveling to the show from out of town, what are some must-sees in Kansas City while they're there?
Yeah. I would encourage everyone that doesn't already know is that we're building a new facility. We're
Wow.
going over onto the Kansas side of things, and that's been a long coming project. And encouraging our exhibitors, hey, go drive by and see the progress that we're making and know what we're trying to work towards on the horizon. On a more fun note, there are a lot of amazing places in Kansas City to eat. There is a place just 3 minutes down the road called Slaps Barbecue, which not that we need the lines there any longer than they already are, but if you want to talk about just phenomenal food and a true experience of Kansas City barbecue, that would be the place to go.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I know I was briefly in Kansas City in the springtime, just kind of landing and then driving through, headed to Manhattan, Kansas. But just the flights didn't line up right at a mealtime. So I was sad. Next time, I'm definitely going to have to stop for some
Absolutely.
barbecue for sure.
Yeah,
So
I was
go
gonna say
ahead.
there's not a lot of places that you can go wrong around here.
Yeah.
Whether it's, Slaps or Gates or Joe's, I mean, they're all just phenomenal places to eat.
Yeah. So where can people go to register, whether they're participating, and whether they just want to purchase tickets or parking passes or whatever so they can attend?
Yeah, our communications team here at the American Royal has done a phenomenal job actually building a new website. Um, Same link as old, it's theamericanroyal.com. There's a fall livestock tab that will have spots to register if you're showing livestock. That'll walk you through all the information that we'll need. But on the same note, it would be the ability to go in there and purchase a parking pass or a day pass and to come on down to the American Royal in October, whether you're showing or not, just being a part of our 125th year and the legacy that we're leaving. I think it's going to be an extremely special year this year.
Amazing. Yeah, it sounds like. And how can listeners who maybe can't attend or companies that are listening, how can they get involved? Do you welcome donations or sponsorships through the show as well?
Absolutely. We're always looking for potential partnerships and folks to work with. And um, I would say that our phones are always open, our emails are always available. It's one of those deals that if you have, whether it's a specific niche of the part of the industry that you want to either promote, or if there's something that we can do to partner together, that's always an option. And for the folks that can't make it to the show, we have a wonderful partnership with a company called Walton Webcasting that we use that broadcasts every show for all 17 days.
Oh, nice.
Being able to tune in at any time and to watch that show from any point in the country, it's phenomenal where we are in the world. And to think that that's what, you know, all of the years, and this is one we get to exist where you can watch a show in 50 states at any point, wherever you are.
Right. Yeah, that's incredible, isn't it?
Mhm.
And lastly, what drives your passion for the industry? Why do you wake up every day and serve in the way you do?
That's a great question. You know, I really think it's because of the folks that had an impact on me. The my college advisor who was in charge of leading us through that Western Bonanza program. To this day, she's still a great friend of mine, and actually, she's at the point where her daughter is now going to be coming and showing at the American Royal for the first time.
Wow.
And I think I just want to be able to leave an impact on our exhibitors and the amount of people that you just talk to, and when they ask what you do for work and you say you work for the American Royal, and they have some story about when they showed here and they were pulling trailers through the West Bottoms, or they were, showing cattle underneath the flags of American Royal, Hale Arena. And it's just really special to be a part of that. And I just want to make sure that I can do everything in my power to create a lasting impression for anyone that walks through our doors or brings cattle through our barns or sheep and goats or pigs, and just trying to wake up each morning to improve our show, to improve what we can do, and really create an impact on these youth exhibitors.
Yeah, that's it. That's a legacy to be proud of for sure. The same with the show, just an incredible legacy of service to our communities and to our industry, which is great. So thank you for what you do.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. And at days it is a thankless job. And when you leave here at 11 p.m. midnight and you're back at 4:35 the next morning, I don't want to say you regret your decisions, but the days get long and the hours are arduous, but it really is rewarding when, I look back on photos of a 9-year-old girl from Oregon smiling from ear to ear because she just got crowned the champion market goat, right? And it is rewarding, and I love what I do each and every day.
That is great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, thanks to all who are watching or listening. If you want to learn more, links are provided in the show notes. Don't forget to subscribe to North American Egg Spotlight podcast on Rumble, Telegram, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you like the episode, I would love it if you shared it. Have a great day.